Good evening.
Good evening.
We are here, and once again, it is our great pleasure to be in your reality. We are particularly pleased to meet this group tonight. We know many of you are fans of ours. We use that term loosely, but it means a lot to us because you are fans, because you have encountered information that is changing your lives. And you have gratitude, you have excitement, you have vavoom going for you. You have lots of vavoom going for you. There's buzz here in this group. And we are, for the record, we are gathered here in Stowe, Vermont, in an undisclosed location on a hillside, on a beautiful, beautiful, perfect Vermont evening. August number, 12, 13 today? 13, 2010. And this is a summer to remember. A very important summer in your lives. And it is a good thing that things are rolling along, that society is still holding itself together with its own desire to function, and in light of all the dysfunction, all the dishonesty, all the instability within your system, all the tumultuous changes and conflicts that are occurring, this is the nature of these times. By the mixing of all these energies, it is stirring people up. It is stirring them up on the inner world, and it is stirring up on the outer world. We do want to point out that you are all powerful beings, every single one of you. Each of you has power that you do not recognize and that you do not use. And when you accept that each and every one of you has a rich story to your lives, and you have purpose, you have significance, and you have things that move you. You are part of something larger than you can remember. And all of this is moving towards significance that will grow greater and greater. So you have power. How do you use that power? You discussed the idea that thoughts create reality. Yes, this is true. And thoughts are energized or put into motion based on the emotion, the feelings that you have behind your thoughts. These feelings can be run from negative feelings to high positive feelings. Emotions are what make you human. And so embrace your emotions. They define the human experience. There are all types of intelligence within the multiverse. On Earth, many visitors from the multiverse have come here. Many beings have had their own civilizations here on Earth. And they have come and gone. One might say they're in parallel timelines. And they have left no record. Yet were you to meet them, they would look nothing like you. In terms of your current, let's say, physicality. These beings may have had 2 arms, 2 legs, and a head. But they look different. And there's a number of different kinds of beings that have occupied Earth. So let's say that there's lots going on that is bubbling and brewing beneath the surface that has to do with who you share the planet with, who you are in the cosmos, and your own individual power that you each have accepted and made an affirmation for. Now, everything in the multiverse is connected. Everything is connected. And there is some form of consciousness in all things. Consciousness permeates the multiverse. It is in physical and non-physical. It is in animate and inanimate. It is in organic and inorganic. We said to you that this is a turning point summer, big summer of change. In our June newsletter of the P Times, we gave a picture of why things are changing, and we spoke of something called the world axis, which forms a cross, an equilateral cross, meaning that the sides of the cross are all equal, versus a Christian cross, where the crossbar was moved off the center and up to the top. Yes? Yes. Now, the world axis forms a cross. It is the cross of north, south, east, and west. It is the cross that determines the seasons, with Capricorn at the top, Cancer at the bottom, Aries here on one side, spring, and Libra, autumn on another. And each of those points of the cross, it would be designated inside the circle, or as it would fit, as 0 degrees. They would be beginning a 0 degree point, the beginning of what you call a sign of the zodiac, in basic terms. If you are not familiar with astrology, you can picture a clock and picture a cross forming between 12 and 6, 9 and 3. What has happened on this cross is some major planets have moved into position at these points of the cross. The cross is also called the cardinal cross, the cross that initiates, where things begin. When planets line up around this cross, and you've had big lineups since early June that you are still in now, they tend to change world events in very big ways. And in order for events to play themselves out in the world as big events, they must have a genesis inside. You are not at the whim and the will of events. You are creators of your own lives through your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions. And you also co-create on deep inner levels mass events. You practice mass events, play them out and learn about them. This means mass events, meaning events that happen to the masses, not events that happen to a few people. You follow? So in order for mass events to occur, there must be some agreement among the people to participate in this expression of energy. Same way also, there may be potential for events to come down, war, collapses, pandemics, diseases, big things. And the people agree or disagree about these mass events in the dream state. Because this is where you work out, this is where the playground of reality exists. In the dream state, which is a state of consciousness that can be defined by how quickly or how slowly your brain wave cycles move. When you are in the dreaming state, you are in slow brainwave cycles, something like 4 cycles per second and less. It is called the delta state. In the model of the garden of the mind, we refer to it as the potato. It is a very powerful state of being, this unconsciousness. It is the biggest part of your mind complex in terms of power. And it is here, when you slow your brain waves down and go into meditation or go into sleep and dreaming, where you have the flexibility to think about this and to play something out and to test realities out. And there you vote yay or nay on a reality. And ideally, as students of awareness and students of simply understanding physical reality, that each of you has recognized that your dream states are massively growing in power. This is where, for some people, you will find the extreme development of psychic pictures. Now, if you are not so predisposed to be a great dreamer, you can learn to set things into motion before you fall to sleep. So, as we had you claim your power tonight, when you go to sleep tonight, before you, let's say, really fall asleep, and as you get in bed, say to yourself, I am going to explore my power tonight in the dream state. I am going to learn and express more of who I am and gather my power in this flexible world of play. Because you do build reality first in dreaming, and then it appears in the physical world. So what we are saying to you is that it is the inner world that builds the outer experience. With all these planets hovering around the world axis and the events that you have coming down, there's potential for astronomical change. And we do not mean change by global elite to say to you, we are locking your country down, we are putting you in martial law, taking your banks or whatever. The power of the people is growing to an extraordinary level. How does the power of the people grow, you wonder? Well, it grows when you claim that you have power and that you want it. And what is that power? Is it the power of a king? Is it the power of wealth? Let's say it's the power that is the multiverse. It is the power that is everywhere. And it is your right and your duty to direct this energy. And you may become, as we fondly say, the best pie baker because you accept this power, you direct it towards something that excites you, and that's what you want to do, is bake the best pies in the world. It can be that simple. Or it can be filling a passion that has to do with people, healing, loving, bringing in energies. The potentials are unlimited. There are many, many beings in the non-physical realms who assist humanity at this time. Our vehicle was speaking to you of the many beings in the non-physical realms who have sort of dropped down into physical bodies and have taken them over. And that is quite true. You have a lot of people on the planet who are exhibiting behavior that is self-destructive. And that is always a sign of entity possession. But we want you to make plenty of room in your mind for the other side of this, that there's tremendous amount of support and help for you. What we also want you to recognize is that you must set things into motion. Many of you have guides, and you work with your guides. And then you don't listen to them. Now, and that's, we salute you for that, because our vehicle didn't listen to us in the beginning. And she would say, please, I don't know, they want me to do this, they're suggesting this. And she'd say to us, all right, if it's really important for me to do this, then give me a sign. I'm not just going to follow your instructions. I'm not some willy-nilly puppet. And we admired her for this. So she'd say, give us a sign. If it's in my highest favor and this is really meant for me to do, I want a sign. And our vehicle, you know, she was not easy. She wouldn't ask for one sign. She got the idea that she'd want 3 signs. And if she really didn't want to do something and we wanted her to do it, or suggested something, she'd say, well, I have to have 7 signs on this. if it's really meant to be. Because she was holding her own space. So we admire you and advise each and every one of you to hold your own space and not become the puppets of beings who you can't see who tell you things to do. You must have autonomy, sovereignty, and you must have feisty spirit to be in charge. On the other hand, once you start working with guides and calling them in,